You're still fine. I see. And then yeah, because he rolled and he has like a fucking insane business logic. I assume other my calculations and data indicate he pauses, looks at her, scans. Is she the only one?
There are two.
Interesting. Are you aware of the second's location?
The bowels of the Eldar stronghold of Kamora.
I see.
Considering that our existences are on the line, all of ours, if you happen to have some method of assisting us beyond this, it would not go unwelcome. Otherwise, I'm unsure. Do machines pray?
Then he ponders about for a moment. You are making good arguments, human. Alas, even if I disregard Senate High Lords of Terra, their decisions, obviously you do not make and you do not influence them. But what is my guarantee that you won't, after everything is said and done, you basically what he's getting at, because I don't have proper words to say that in character, is that yeah, Heroes of Terra can make their own decision, but you, when it comes down to fuck, I had a good line of thought and I completely lost it, so
basically what's stopping us from just going back in our agreement and killing him when this is over?
something on the lines, yeah.
One, the idea is that it's possible that it's very likely that we won't be coming back at all. Two, we are willing to wipe this interaction and his location from our database. So even if we wanted to, we wouldn't be able to find it. And three, Dunko's actually somewhat right. It is a leap of faith. He has to make a calculated risk. On the one hand, he could refuse and possibly start a conflict, which he may or may not win. At which point, even if he loses, he loses. And if he wins, then he has gained absolutely nothing and goes absolutely nowhere. And the galaxy becomes further at risk, placing him further at risk. He can perform his own calculations as to how well he can mount a defense against a galaxy-spanning army of demons. Considering the possibility that his existence can simply be lost in the chaos of war, records destroyed, there's no even guarantee that the Imperium will be even in a position to mount a counter-offensive against him after this. At which case, his continued existence is secured. Even if we survive, we might be driven back to pre-warp.
Yeah. He's like, faith. He sounds musing to himself. Such a non-quantified concept.
He can make the risk assessments and make his choice.
He thinks about it for a moment. Follow me. You will receive your maiden upon leaving. And then like his form like turns to the left and starts going into a corridor. Do you follow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Basically we get flash forward as they're standing on a not ledge but like a floor, and there's like a safety railing, and there's like a massive hole like clouded in dark. As you come by, the form doesn't even speak, doesn't make a move, and then like lights turn on, and basically like as like you sometimes from like various movies or shows, when the camera pans from you to that like the open like the massive hangar, what it turns out, and you see various ships, mostly transport ones, like capital ones, alongside thousands of there are hundreds of thousands robotic soldiers.
Bless you.
Thanks. Accompanied by their version of tanks and titans, and then you can feel that there is a smack tone in his voice, as without looking at you he says, "What exactly will you require?"
Uh-huh. Well.
Now the question is, what do we have the manpower for?
Perhaps the other question, also help, like somewhat supporting helpful question, would be for what role you would need his forces: as a distraction, to hold off the masses of enemies from demons and Dark Eldar?
Probably both. First, we need to get into Kamara. Then we need to find the maiden somewhere in the Dark City while dodging and demons.
Yeah, something like that. Alright,
My
because
lord, there is no such force.
do not underestimate my power. But yeah, the planet, I didn't notice that, but yeah, the planet is large enough that, additionally with underground, he has place to store all of that. Plus his fabricators give him a quick production rate, and he, God knows for how long he was in this place preparing. So yeah, he has forces to spare. He's like, please stand by. And then you imagine that he basically does the calculations. Very well. The appropriate invasion force has been set and will be dispatched upon acquiring coordinates, and when the command is given, I believe that 10 capital ships with fabricators on board, alongside 1 million of ground force, will be enough to achieve the objective. Yeah, and he doesn't say that is this pure satisfaction. He's like saying it with a tone of finality.
Wow.
Honestly, I'm not really sure. But I can roll for it.
Well, Xanthus is most impressed. I'll say that.
Scholastic War
Hmm?
Tactic Imperialis. I have suggestions. I don't know what they are out of character, but they're good ones.
As long as they don't include getting more people because he's dead set on that. Well, maybe he will throw in extra 100,000, but that's
So how to use them. I know how we might be able to use these.
Besides, look, he's a machine. His speed thought processing is several times quicker than a human brain, even with a cortex implant. So yeah, in terms of tactics, they are, set. But he won't dismiss. I mean, you rolled 9 degrees of this, so he won't dismiss it. He's like, appreciate the efforts, and then he says basically, alas, the machine's speed of thought is just quicker.
I already thought of these. Very well. Well, I'll leave it to the Inquisitor. At the very least, your location will be kept secret. That we can confirm on our own.
Yeah, it's not like he has like a backup plan to get something somewhere else, just in case, to build from the ground up. Paranoid motherfuckers. Anyways, never mind. That's
well, I imagine with all of that smashing into the side of Kamara, we'll be able to infiltrate, get the girl. Problem.
Okay, so the lights turn back, return to that room it was. The thick glass lowers down, and seems like this is the direction that the maiden slowly opens her azure eyes. Her face, she's looking peaceful, but she doesn't have any particular emotion. Neither sadness, nor anger, nor fear, just indifferent slightly. Maybe serene. Oh yeah, she's very serene and peaceful looking. And then he says, Graham, he actually sounds... He tries to sound pretty gentlemanly as he says, you will come with these humans. I apologize for using you as a bargain chip, but for what it's worth, I am thankful that it didn't come to more drastic measures. And she only nods and steps closer. And to you too, she offers a courtesy bow.
Well, I suppose this is the part where we get into formal introductions. I am Inquisitor Xanthus Kaladin, and this is my friend, Zhao Shen Wang.
She thinks for a moment, she furrows her brow, but still looks really peaceful for a long time. And her voice is if you could connect this voice with a mental picture, it's a white feather just gently falling through the peaceful sky. She says, for a long time I only had this title that was echoing in my head, but I think I remember my name. I think I was named Anya.
Anya.
Yes.
What was she saying?
It's such a beautiful name.
Yeah, and also she's like, seems really sane, but like, she's not insane, but the way she speaks, reacts, she's like, maybe not exactly to the ground, but yeah, she holds talk. And she like looks to her left, like shudders a little bit, but it doesn't seem like she's cold, but maybe something else. I feel that there's much death and darkness encroaching the mankind. And the Emperor that can't save his subjects. She sounds like quite sad, but you don't know where exactly she goes with it. So, what do you say? How do you react?
Well,
That is what you are for. Apparently, there is a way you can help the Emperor.
well, why don't we get her back on the ship and get her comfortable? I'm sure this cold ground is not doing anyone any favors, right?
Right. Well, Anya, please, come with me. And Graham,
course, Inquisitor.
you will have their coordinates soon.
Very well. My troops will be on standby. Yeah. Flash forward to the ship.
It's too bad that...
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I rolled willpower earlier.
Hmm?
If Xanthus failed that willpower, be like, I'm going to need... If you don't want to live in secrecy, I'm going to need you to come live with me. I need this army on standby.
Yeah.
Like, hold the phone.
Yeah, that would have been... maybe he would like laugh a little bit and just ha ha no. Anyways, yeah, you back on the
You
ship.
resisted the urge to say that.
You exited the his base, aka pocket dimension, and whatever it is, and I think my idea was to jump forward to the moment like shortly before the attack commences, or during the attack, but if before that, if somebody wanted a particular scene or if anybody wanted to do something specific, then go ahead.
Sorry, what are we jumping to?
I mean, I planned on like jumping forwards to a next scene that will be most probably, you know, either before the attack or the attack itself. So before that, I wanted to give you a chance to, if you wanted to have a scene of any sort, then...
If we're going to be going into danger, especially with Gamora, if possible, perhaps delivering her to Caden first, or at least in a place of safety, so she's not risked.
I mean, if you trust Benjamin to take care of it, he could just take her, teleport her to Cade and then get back.
We have this far.
Yeah, if he was gonna screw us over, he'd probably have done it by now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go to the moment right before the attack and...
Okay, yeah. Like, general feel like at this point in time, like some the whatever troops Farsight managed to get, I imagine you would also want to use his or not.
It would... I'm wondering if it's even necessary at this point.
Your call.
10 capital ships and 1 million soldiers. And we only need them to go to a certain point and just whack that.
Even without knowing
Eh,
the exact specifications, you can assume that each of the ships of Silka Animus is like equivalent of Apocalypse class battleship. Perhaps in terms of prowess it is even better.
Yeah. I'm going to probably say the Farsight doesn't need to send in his own men. We can save those for later.
Okay, he will acknowledge that. No, he will not take it as a slight to his honor. He know that he will have to pay his due in time for the safety of his people.
Yeah, not supposed to be a slight, just a matter of no need risking the very few that they have left on something that we don't need them on.
He understands that. Okay. So the ship, your ship, is a buzz of activity as your men, crewmates are doing, you know, drills, are preparing themselves for, even if they don't know the details, they're like feeling in their bones and skin that this will be a big one. This will be something that will perhaps put them in the imperial history. Stuff like that. So
yeah, it'll be that.
I imagine, does any one of you, I mean, maybe someone is like, does some sort of like general briefing, you know, a la Admiral Adama from Battlestar Galactica when they prepare for like, this is Inquisitor Zantis to the ship, and then like gives like a long uplifting speech what they are about to face. Do you do something like that or not really?
Even if I did, I'm probably not doing it on screen.
Yeah.
I don't do speeches.
Yeah,
But
it's fine.
Let's see here. Xanthus gives a nice rousing command speech.
Okay.
Take names.
Yeah, and then we flash forward as through the weirdness, like you make a jump because you have like somehow you managed to locate the camera. Maybe it's like Benjamin popping in, leaving a sort of psionic beacon that Ovis can lock, not Ovis, Gaston can lock onto. Maybe Ovis, Gaston, whatever, whichever one of them. And then what we see next, this is like a money shot of a TV show or a movie during the like final section, as we see for a moment only a single small light cruiser popping from the like not hyperspace, like warp space, right like near the massive imposing figure of Dark City, with the fire smokes being like visible all around, with legions of demons, their screams echoing, echoing, and then, as maybe some that are think, fools, suddenly massive ships jump in right next to it, and then they unleash their fighters and soldiers with, you know, their own personal jetpacks, and the assault on the Camorra to save the second maiden has begun. And boy, I need to drink for a moment.
We sure we don't want to end the session here? This seems like it's going to be a long part.
Yeah, actually not really. There was one thing I wanted to say and I need to explain it properly. But I will like write it also for your Demko. I will write it later on Skype. Yeah, and I just need a moment to get a drink, and I will be back in a drink, and I will be back in several seconds. So I will, you know, say what's next, and well, explain why I did what I did in this session and stuff like that. So give me a couple of moments.